Good morning, everybody. You are currently listening to a Tall Girls podcast hosted by a tall girl named India. I hope everyone who is tuning in today is doing super fantastic. Before I get into this episode, I do want to say, make sure you follow me on my socials at a Tall Girls podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest so that you can stay up to date on all of the latest podcast episodes and catch a glimpse of my everyday life. Also, feel free to leave me a review and let me know how tall you are. I'm genuinely curious. Also, I have a monthly newsletter. You should definitely subscribe to that. Everything is going to be linked in the description. I just want to start off by saying I apologize in advance for my voice. I'm getting over a little icky sicky icky, if you know what I mean. And on top of that, I did karaoke. So in combination with being icky sicky icky and screaming into a microphone, let's just say that 2 days ago, I did not have a voice, like at all. But anyways, it came back and here we are. I hope you had a very happy holidays, a very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year, because by the time this is up, it'll already be the new year. Happy New Year as well. First episode of 2025, period. I hope you had a great time with a lot of food and spending time with loved ones and so forth and so on. I'm gonna say that I was very stressed for much of that period because I work in marketing, so I'm only sure you can imagine how stressful that time period was. But we made it through, and we made it to 2025, and here we are, period. I also want to say a big thank you for an amazing 2024 with meeting some of you guys at the Tall Size pop-up shop, all of the amazing collaborations I've had, all the new followers and listeners that I've gained. I'm just extremely, extremely grateful for you all. So I just wanted to take some time and say thank you so much for being here. Honestly, this podcast wouldn't be possible without you. So cheers to 2024, and here's to an amazing and fruitful 2025. Now let's get into the episode. This entire episode is actually based on a TikTok video that I found. I'm just gonna play it right now.
I know there's layers to every category of diversity issues and whatnot, but I'm gonna just say this. When it comes to tall people and tall influencers, y'all only really hype up tall influencers when they are skinny. All the videos I ever see of tall girl stuff, tall relatable stuff, like goes viral and they become like these tall girl figures, is when they're skinny. And when they're not skinny, they're fetish accounts for tall women. Is that the only avenue in which we're allowed to exist? Like, do I have to be skinny and not dark skinned to be like this tall girl figure? Because as someone that, and if you've followed me, you know I've struggled a lot with a lot of fetishization of my height and my body. And I also see a lot of tall girl accounts. If you look up tall girl, bro, sometimes you will see them fetish accounts of like tall girls using their bodies for like to promote, you know, whatever, promote. And so I'm not against the OnlyFans girls. Do what you gotta do. But why can't there just be a regular average body tall girl? Why are the only options to be tall and skinny? And when I mean skinny, guys, I really mean skinny. Tall and skinny to be relatable, or to be, you know, curvier and thicker and tall, and then to be fetishized. What is the spectrum? What is the spectrum? I don't fit into one, and I do not want to be in the other. I'm in this awkward gray space, and it can be really frustrating as a creator.
And I want to dive into this real quick. Well, not real quick, but let's talk about it. First, let's introduce exactly what the tall girl influencer space is. It's essentially a niche community of content creators on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube even, who essentially represent and cater to tall women. They share their experiences, their struggles, their ups and downs relating to being tall. They also share clothing tips and outfit inspo, dating stories, and how to navigate the world with confidence when we literally stand out in the crowd. This space is very unique, very niche, because we're often overlooked or misrepresented in the media. So essentially, essentially is to showcase, and be representative of the tall girl population. But it's not strictly like tall girl content. It's also lifestyle content, what they do, etc. But it is mostly tall girl related stuff. So yes, there are literal tall girl influencers out there. And it's funny when people, spoiler alert, they're not tall women, say that it's ridiculous to build a platform about being tall. But like, if you don't get it, then it's pretty clear that you are not and should not be part of the tall girl community.
I already told you. The girls that get it, get it. The girls that don't.
We're here to represent, so bye-bye. I ran a poll over on my Instagram because, I follow a lot of tall girls and a lot of tall girls follow me, period, point blank. And I asked, do you consider yourself to be a tall girl influencer? 17% of you guys said, yep, got me a whole community. 0% said, no girl, what is that? And 83% said, LOL, I'm just existing here. And honestly, if you're just existing, I love that for you. Keep doing your thing. I did a poll over on my Instagram yet again, and I'm just going to plug my Instagram at A Tall Girls Podcast. If you want your opinion, your voice heard on these episodes, make sure you follow me over on Instagram so that you can participate in these polls. But I did ask you guys, do you think tall girl influencers are real, quote unquote, real influencers? 57% of y'all said, hell yeah. I keep up with them a lot, and that's on period. We love that. 4% said not really. 39% of you said depends on the content they post, which honestly makes a lot of sense. Some popular tall girl influencers include the Worth twins, Natasha Burns, and Blissful Ellie. And what do these influencers / creators have in common? Well, there's two, but we'll just cover one thing. They're skinny or slim. I'm probably going to use those two terms interchangeably because I don't really like the term skinny that much because I've been ridiculed for that when I was younger. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna use those two interchangeably. Which brings me to the next point that the creator made about, hyping up tall women who are skinny. You're pretty, you're just not tall and skinny. That's essentially what social media is telling tall girls, especially with the basic outfit, because being tall and skinny is the outfit trend. Last time I checked, an outfit is something that anyone can wear, not a body type, but okay. It kind of brings me back to that trend that's like, oh, is the fit good or is she just skinny? Where people of different body types would try out like different outfits that celebrities, especially women who are on the slimmer or skinnier side, are wearing. I mean, some of the outfits that they had were kind of ugly, but people are saying, oh, she looks good. So people are saying, okay, are they just saying that because the outfit is actually good, or is it because she's skinny? So people of different body types would basically replicate celebrity outfits to see if the outfit was good. And most of the time it really is just because the celebrity was skinny or slim. All right, so what's the hype with being tall and skinny? When exactly did this standard start? Of course, with modeling in the 70s and 80s, because that industry favored women with tall, slender bodies to showcase clothing, like Twiggy. I mean, she's not tall, I believe, but the name stood out to me because Twiggy, skinny, you know what I mean? But essentially, Twiggy set the bar for this ideal. And this persisted into the 80s and 90s with Naomi Campbell and Cindy Crawford. So that tall and thin ideal also became popular in mainstream media and advertising, perpetuating the idea that tall and thin means beauty and worthy of attention. And essentially, this kind of rolls over into the social media world, where this ideal is basically prioritized, especially on Instagram and TikTok. A lot of the creators who are tall, but on the slimmer or skinnier side, get a lot of positive engagement. So they get likes, they get positive comments like, oh, you're literally perfect, or you're beautiful. And this is especially in the videos where they show their body. Okay, not in an inappropriate way, but when they do outfit videos, styling videos, or they're just like on the screen, but you can see a lot of their body or like their whole entire body. And because of this constant engagement, the algorithm essentially starts pushing it out more and more people see it. And, that kind of like perpetuates the idea, that kind of insinuates the idea that tall and skinny is cute, tall and skinny is beautiful, and that's it. Ask you guys over on a poll on Instagram, do tall girls have to have a certain look to gain huge amounts of popularity on social media? 25% said not really, it's about gaining a community. And I honestly agree with this, because with social media nowadays, it's all about representation, following people who look like you, following people who have the same struggles as you. So I definitely agree with that. 25% said, yeah, the masses like what they like. And half of you guys said it depends on the content that they post. Now, that's not to say that they don't receive mean comments or hateful comments, because there are some people out there that just really don't like tall women. But in my opinion, I feel like tall and thinner girls are more likely to receive more positive engagement overall, or more than tall, curvier creators. Or tall, curvy creators may get less engagement or more hate comments or more mean comments. So, do tall, curvy girls receive more criticism than tall, thin girls? Honestly, it depends. But based on society's beauty standards for tall women, or just women in general, I'd say that they're more likely to receive it both online and offline. I actually found a video of a kind of tall, curvy creator asking tall, curvy girls about their struggles, and I'm just gonna play the video right now.
This is an important question for all my tall, curvy girls. What has been your biggest struggle being a tall, curvy girl? Is it feeling feminine? Is it comparing yourselves to society's standards? Is it healing from yo-yo dieting? Let me know and I will find the answers to your problems. I'll do the research so you don't have to.
And to be honest, the comments are kind of sad. One said that the boys in her class called her a linebacker. Another said that she's scared that men will think she's fat. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a common denominator here, and the rudeness comes from men, but that's a topic for another day. Anyways, but both online and offline, it seems like tall, curvy women are figuratively hit a little harder because of a quote-unquote double whammy. Because already being tall, yes, not everybody hates tall people, but people perceive us in a certain way because a woman is tall. But then they're on the curvier, more plus size realm as a woman. But what if there was a way out? How, you may ask? All you have to do is be fetishized. And actually, that's something that the tall creator in the beginning brought up. I'm gonna replay that part again.
And when they're not skinny, they're fetish accounts for tall women. Is that the only avenue in which we're allowed to exist? Like, do I have to be skinny and not dark skinned to be like this tall girl figure? Because as someone that, and if you've followed me, I've struggled a lot with a lot of fetishization of my height and my body. And I also see a lot of tall girl accounts. If you look up tall girl, bro, sometimes you will see them fetish accounts of like tall girls using their bodies for like to promote, whatever, promote. I'm not against the OnlyFans girls. Do what you gotta do. But why can't there just be a regular average body tall girl?
But I've done quite a few episodes talking about how tall women are fetishized, sexualized, you name it. And I'm likely going to do another one in 2025 just from a different lens. I asked over on Instagram, do tall, curvy, plus size girls face a lot of criticism offline and online? 33% said, yeah, but that's low-key all tall girls in general. I kind of understand that. 39% said, yup, even more than the ideal type of tall girl. 11% said no, tall women are treated well, and 17% said depends on the context. But yeah, tall, curvy women, if you don't fit into the mold, just over-sexualize yourself on social media and make money off of it. Yup. People make money off of that. No tea, no shade though, because groceries, especially as a tall person, is way too expensive. But yeah, just in general, curvy, more plus-sized women are sexualized, not just tall and curvy or tall and plus-sized women. It's just sad because it seems like as a tall and curvy, or just in general a curvy or more plus-sized woman, you can get quote unquote positive attention. If you're sexualized, fetishized, objectified, hyperfeminized, all the eyes. And then a lot of women end up doing this for money. And like I said before, no tea, no shade. I'm just saying that with that, a lot of people think that it's okay that, okay, if these tall, curvy women, tall, plus size women are doing this, and I can say stuff like this under their page, then I could just do that to any tall and curvy or any tall plus size woman. It's okay to sexualize any tall women, tall curvy women. It's okay to fetishize them. And it's like, as tall women, some of us don't want that to happen. Like, we're out here just trying to exist on social media, you know, build communities. But I think a great thing is not everybody, you know, hates on tall curvy women. Some of them actually use their platform to build strong communities from it. And there's other tall curvy women who feel confident, who feel good about themselves, who feel good about their body because of these creators. And that is honestly so amazing. Now that we got that out the way, I just want to bring up a different issue. I want to ask, is being tall as a woman acceptable if you're thin? We all know the whole thing with, oh, being tall as a woman is a bad thing. But with how society views tall, curvy, tall plus size women versus how they view tall thin, tall skinnier women, you kind of have to ask. But if you know anything about me, if you know anything about this podcast, you know that we're all about being tall. We're all about loving our height. We're all about feeling confident in our height. The truth is, tall women come in different shapes, sizes, and vibes. And let me tell you, we slay in every single one of them. Period. Make sure you send this to a tall queen who needs to hear this. So, in summary, people are more likely to hype up the thinner, the skinnier, the slimmer, tall girl influencers. But that's just the standard overall. As a woman, if you're on social media and you're showcasing your body appropriately or even inappropriately, but let's just say appropriately, people tend to favor the thinner, the skinnier, the slimmer woman because, I mean, I guess that means that they're fitter, more attractive, survival of the fittest, all that stuff that I don't understand because I didn't pay attention to that in my 6th grade science class. I feel like a lot of the backlash, a lot of the criticism towards tall, curvier women come from men. But that's just me. Because it's all about what they find attractive, right? Wrong, okay? Honestly, what's most important is that we build strong communities of people who look like us, people who are like us. That's the most important part. If you're receiving hate from people in the outside world, online, social media, if they don't look like you, they have no reason to comment on your body. Do not listen to, if it's not your doctor and they look absolutely nothing like you, and they're making these rude comments, he's making these comments about your body, you do not need to listen to them. So yeah, that is my 2 cents. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Of course, as always, feel free to hit me up on my socials. They're going to be linked below. And let me know what you thought about this episode, and just think about the whole topic in general of tall, skinny, tall, thin influencers. If you're a tall, curvy girl, also feel free to share your experiences. I would love to hear it in the comments, in my DMs, whatever it may be. And until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Good night and goodbye.